USC moves to 3-0 with a convincing road win that was a long time coming. If you happen to run into Dodger closer Tanner Scott, give him a hug. And Kings fans have a 2-month reprieve before experiencing the horror of Corey Perry in their jersey. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is September 14th, 2025. Welcome back to the home office. It's also Sunday, the Lord's Day. So if you believe as I do, take a moment. Thank Him for the blessings in your life, like LA sports. And if you'd like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, we always have an expanded look at the scoreboard during football season. So we're going to start with USC 33, Purdue 17. Behold, it's the Trojans' first win outside of either California or Nevada since September 30th, 2023. Now, I never said I know everything about football, but what we discussed in yesterday's preview, it's exactly what came to pass. The Trojans wanted a track meet. They put up another 460 yards of total offense, and the Boilermakers simply couldn't keep up. You can tell by watching the game how much steadier Jade Maava looks at quarterback. He didn't turn the ball over, threw for 282 yards. USC ran the football at will, 178 yards. Wayman Jordan rushed for 77 yards and a touchdown. And by the way, the Trojans' defense, highly opportunistic. 5 sacks. Eric Gentry had 3 of them. They also forced 3 interceptions, 2 of which came by Bishop Fitzgerald. The third, defensive tackle Jamal Jarrett, all 360 pounds of him, returned that interception 70 yards for a pick 6. But I want to nitpick a little bit. Do you remember last season? The Trojans would fade in the fourth quarter of damn near every game. Purdue did cobble together big plays in the fourth quarter, so I'm not totally sold on USC as a top 25 team. I'd say they're a lot more qualified than 2-loss Notre Dame, but I still want to be a little patient. Now look, in 2 weeks, if USC beats Illinois on the road, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Meanwhile, Dodgers 13, San Francisco 7. Shohei Ohtani has 49 home runs. The Dodger magic number is 12. The Galaxy, very gritty effort in a 2-2 tie with Seattle. LAFC defeated San Jose 4-2. The Black and Gold have not lost in 9 consecutive road matches. North Carolina 2, Angel City FC 1. Ick. Let's move on to today, where the Dodgers will be at San Francisco at 1. Meanwhile, the Rams are at Tennessee at 10 a.m. And I want to give a preview. The primary reason I think the Rams go to 2-0 is the Titans' offensive line is total cringe. Cam Ward was sacked 6 times last week. So I do believe the Rams will have plenty to win. But for the Rams to get an even easier win, it's going to be interesting. Watch the left side of LA's offensive line. You have tackle Alaric Jackson facing off against Titans and Jeffrey Simmons. Now, the last time the Titans and Rams met, Simmons went nuts. He sacked Matthew Stafford 3 times. So, say the Rams go, okay, we've got a double team Simmons with Jackson and whoever plays left guard. Remember, Rams starting left guard Steve Avila turned an ankle. He hasn't practiced at all this week, so he's very doubtful to be in today. Does Tennessee exploit that with blitzes to try to nail Stafford on the blind side? Now, to be clear, I still see the Rams winning. Sean McVay said his bigger goal, aside from the W, is to incorporate Devontae Adams more into the offense. Tennessee is simply not a good football team, so I think they're going to have plenty of opportunities. So with that out of the way, let's get to the news. We are told to look for signs of people contemplating the worst, right? And because of that, I'm starting to wonder if Tanner Scott needs professional help. Because this is what he said after giving up a walk-off grand slam in San Francisco on Friday. Quote, "Gave up a bad pitch to a hitter that can hit fastballs. It cost us again. I'm tired of it happening. It's terrible. I'm having the worst year of my life. I gotta be better," unquote. And I have to take a moment, because if you're a well-adjusted person and you hear that, you're like, bro, wait, are you cool? Do we need to talk? But keep in mind, baseball beat writers are not well-adjusted people, so they didn't give a bleep about Tanner Scott's mental fitness. Instead, they asked him what he thought was leading to a season of sucking more than a department store full of vacuum cleaners. Great idea, guys. Affirm his misery. Push him closer to the abyss. Well done. To which Scott said, "I don't know if I'm tipping pitchers or what, but they're on everything. It sucks. Maybe I'm tipping. I have no friggin' clue right now," unquote. Worst year of his life, guys. Do you remember the worst year of your life? I remember the worst year of my life. I remember going through the worst year of my life thinking, gee, if only I had chosen a better woman to marry, I wouldn't have lost everything I own and had to sleep in a car for 6 months. Worst year of my life. Gee, if only I had chosen a better woman to marry, a doctor wouldn't have had to shove a Q-tip into my unit to swab for disease. I remember that in the worst year of my life. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's definitely worse than blowing 9 saves in a year. You could be the judge of that. Meanwhile, Roberts at least had the humanity to give the beleaguered closer a vote of confidence, if for no other reason than to keep Scott from contemplating self-harm. Quote, "There's obviously outside noise, but inside the clubhouse, guys believe in him. I believe in him. We're going to need him. That's just the facts. We're going to need him," unquote. Which is nice. But let's be honest with ourselves. The only facts in that quote, "I believe," is that the Dodgers are eventually going to need him, and there's a lot of outside noise. The people believing in him, not so much. Not so much. Also with the Dodgers, Will Smith has been placed on the 10-day injured list, retroactive to Wednesday. That means he will be eligible to play again if he's healthy enough next weekend. Roberts said there simply hasn't been sufficient healing to Smith's bruised throwing hand. Now, all imaging that was done on the hand was clear. X-ray, CT, MRI. Also injured backup catcher Dalton Rushing. He's already on a rehab assignment. So in the meantime, welcome back Chucky Robinson to the show. Blake Trinan wrote the name of murdered right-wing pundit / activist Charlie Kirk on his baseball cap. And I don't care. Some of the scribes were trying to hype this up like it's a controversy. I don't care. Look, I was watching the Galaxy match in Seattle last night. There were protect trans kids signs all over the place. That's a political statement too. And I don't care. I would prefer in sports there be no political statements. Okay, there are political statements now in sports. Whatever, I'll live. Just don't expect me to get all worked up when you either talk about Charlie Kirk or you talk about trans kids. I'm there for the game. To each his own. For those of you who don't want to see Corey Perry in a king sweater, you at least have 2 months more of bliss. Turns out the injury that he suffered Friday requires knee surgery. Hard to believe a 40-year-old hockey player would have knee problems. Who knew? This means Perry will not be ready in time for the Kings season opener, and that'll give the old man all the time he needs to yell at as many clouds as he wants. The Kings, by the way, are his 7th team. He did play 14 years over in Anaheim. To repeat what we discussed yesterday, Perry is a 4th liner. This is not a disastrous development for the Kings roster. And I gotta admit, I'm getting exhausted talking about how much UCLA football stinks this year. See, there are cool people who love UCLA and they watch this program. And I'm not trying to be that guy rubbing it in their faces. But I do bring up the Bruins this morning because CBSSports.com ran an article titled "Buyout Chatter About Deshaun Foster Intensifies." And then the Scribe posted 0 sources. 0. He only gave his own opinion. In other words, the voice inside the Scribe's head is what's intensifying. That's not creepy, right? If the voice in your head intensifies, I would recommend you seek professional help faster than Tanner Scott. Outside of the Scribes, who already have it in for Foster, there is 0 known chatter in college football circles about firing Deshaun Foster as UCLA football coach. Nobody inside UCLA is saying it. No sources close to UCLA athletics is saying it. It's all the Scribes in an echo chamber. Now, I'm not trying to argue that the UCLA should keep Deshaun Foster, but we've been saying this for almost 2 months. Scribes are petty. The moment that Foster locked them out of practice, the reporters would give that guy no more free breaks. None of them. So now, in addition to, oh, it's intensifying, I can tell you 2 other Scribes joined into chat. Yeah. Someone from Outkick wants Deshaun Foster fired. Dylan Hernandez stopped talking about social justice issues for 5 seconds to demand that Foster get run. And by the way, the Bruins are off this week. So now you, if you are a UCLA sports fan, are going to have to endure 2 full weeks of hearing how much they suck before they go out and prove it again at Northwestern. My condolences. And I've been saying this for weeks. I haven't put it in these many words. For the Bruins to have a chance to win, Nico Iamaleava has to be absolutely chef's kiss perfect. According to Pro Football Focus, or PIF, Iamaleava has been pressured on 43.7% of his dropbacks. Almost half the guy is having to outrun a bunch of blitzers because Iamaleava has nobody around him. Only 4 other quarterbacks face a pass rush more often than Nico Iamaleava. That's how much pressure the dude is under. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me if you're a USC fan. How optimistic are you about this season's start? For that matter, Tanner Scott, do you have a forgiving heart, or are you like, nah, man, that dude's got to go? And if you enjoyed the update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.